And welcome back, everyone, to the Beta Brawl. We just had our first game of Rosas versus DW. DW wins 1-0, going through to the semi-finals to play Beta Alphas, which will be our next game. On the other side of the bracket, we had Couch Potatoes versus Knights of Kech. Knights of Kech. I'm gonna stop doing it like that. They won 1-0 to go through to the semi-finals to play HDTV. Now, big shout out to Uber for helping us cast that first game, but seeing as he casted about 12 hours, was it, yesterday, he decided he wants to rest his voice. So we have the lovely Devmon joining to replace Uber with us today. Welcome, Devmon.
To see some deadlift. Cool. Now people can actually hear me. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Beta Brawl. There's a deadlift going on I just saw, and it's interesting to see the different deadlift builds that are going on right now in comparison to what I've been building in beta.
Juicy deadlift. Interestingly, Devmon, did you notice that deadlift is basically vegan gains?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Vegan gains confirmed for the new Awesomenauts.
Not sure how I feel about that. However,
no.
no.
Do you want to introduce us to the draft there, Dev?
Sure. So we have Team Dank. I'll replay. Team DW versus Team Beta Alphas. On the Team Beta Alpha side, they've banned out Ted, as well as your Jimmy the Luckspot and Lone Star. Nobody wants to fight Lone Star when you've got Deadlift, because Lone Star is the antagonist to Deadlift in this story. On the other side, for Team DW, they've found out Swiggins, Gnaw, and the Durple. And of course, this is on Agulon, so tight, narrow corridors where you can put traps everywhere. Nobody wants to fight the Durple. Nobody wants to deal with the Weedlings, especially since Gnaw's recent buffs have made him pretty good at brawling directly, and Amp has been fantastic. And Swiggins is just a solid ban overall. Ted bans you don't see a lot of, but it seems like the Ted ban in this situation might be to prevent airstrike or maybe like a knockback shotgun to prevent Deadlift being less useful. In terms of the actual picks, however, Team DW has picked out Frog, as well as Penny, and Deadlift, of course, so we've got a team of dashing dashers who dash dashingly. On the other team, Beta Alphas have picked out your Scoop, Deadlift, of course, and Ksenia, who's going to be able to do tons of percentile damage, and it looks really promising, but that's not a lot of AoE damage, and if I've learned anything from the recent events, AoE damage is pretty much the key to shutting down his shield, unless he goes in 1v1, in which case he's got an extra 1,000 health that you have to deal with.
Pretty much. Okay, looking at these team comps, I think DW does have that upper hand with the AoE damage and that sort of brawl potential. But Beta Alpha's still got a good, strong build. Ksenia can pump out a lot of damage, and Swiggins Scoop can lock people down really well. And he's got such a big that burst AoE with the blessing thing. What's that called? It's been a while since I've played this game.
The Bindings of Justice.
Bindings of Justice, that's the one. So the Binding of Justice, really strong. Probably going to work really well, actually, with Deadlift. We shall see which one wins out in the end. I'm ready on 50 seconds. Devmon, do you want to count us in?
Sure. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so we have DW on red team still, same as last game, and they are joined with Beta Alphas on the blue team, Ubi, Cannoli, and Nikki. Very familiar faces in this tournament scene.
In terms of what's been going on, for anybody who doesn't know, and since I'm just coming into this, the upgrades you get at the start of the game, you get 150 Slur in addition to your base abilities, so there's a little bit more room for flexibility for items picked up, including scissor damage. You've got the life steal on the actual bowl, which is something I could mention a little bit later. Healing on Scoop, which is a fantastic upgrade. Frog's gone for his Ninja Worms for the burst. Penny's gone for Starstorm statue early, not taking lots of damage. There's a little bit of a brawl going out. The shield's coming out. Red team's shield's down instantly, and the blue team's going to hold up for a second.
Beta Alpha's doing a really good job of sticking with Cannoli, who's, when he activates that shield, they stick in that shield, and they've been doing it really well in these first few fights, and have allowed so much damage to be tanked. Like, they're really focusing on, right, the shield's up, let's make sure we stay in that shield.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be difficult, but it's all based on the positioning, say, of the bull himself. Cannoli's doing a really good job just keeping his vertical elevation close to his teammates, protecting as much damage as possible. Interesting thing to note about the heal band, though, is that it's a heal over time over 2 seconds when you apply the golden arm. So doing calculations, after Frog gets killed, really good scissors after the bindings of justice.
Cannoli put in work with that, using their heal to great effect. It's giving him a really good sustain in those brawl fights. Like, surprisingly so, he was able to 2v1 then.
It actually does add quite a bit of sustain, and here comes the second stage, speaking of which. It's not a bad amount of heal to overtime, but the attack speed, if you're constantly hitting the golden arm, you're not getting the most out of it. You want to hit every once in a while, so it's kind of like Nas' Rabbit Teeth, where you want to poke and brawl, and basically avoid attacks as much as possible while hitting one every once in a while.
Alright, so it looks like Beta Alpha just have that upper hand right now because of those few team fights that they come out on top. Has resulted in DW losing another 2 players. Just trying to get out now. Does manage to pick up Nikki on his way out, but gets caught out by the hammer and that snare. Really well done. Nikki will happily take that death, leaving his 2 teammates to push out and get even more damage on that top turret, which is actually nearly dead 3 minutes into the game.
It's a very scary comp, I have to say. And you can see that the push that comes from Cannoli just by avoiding healing the droids, it allows them to do quite a lot, actually. I mean, it's unfortunate when you're pushing the shields the droids sometimes, but it makes him a really strong pusher. Very
interesting replay bug, actually. While they're healing in base, the health bar just disappears for me. Is that happening for you as well?
I haven't been noticing. I've been keeping an eye in the middle of the map, to be honest.
But the health bar just like goes black. It's like, they're not dead. They just teleported back. They still here.
Speaking of teleporting, action's going on. We've got Nikki taking lots of damage. The shield just applying just enough damage reduction to keep himself alive. Jazz is going to deal with the super droid. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is chasing down Cannoli, trying to get him down. Not enough pressure, not enough damage quite now, so he's going to back off. Well, we have the Frog picking up the invisibility. Who's here? That he's. Well, it's going to go in there. Get his shield out. It's going to protect and use it effectively just to deny Ksenia from going in. Curious question is, I wonder if how the scissors scale damage for his damage and his shield. I know they can scale percentile max health, but I wonder if the shield counts as more maximum health for that instance.
Very interesting. Yeah, it'd be worth testing out later on. I'm not sure the answer myself. I've not played much Deadlift and I've not noticed anything. I'd like to think it would just be flat health at the moment, and then you upgrade it with. I don't know. I just don't know. Ubi nearly goes down though. Nothing coming out of it. Several members of DW also nearly go down. Nothing really happening right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting because he's only playing a really defensive, like, really covering for his team as Deadlift, doing a lot of sustain, and it's been working out for his team. The damage coming from Ksenia has been significant, and contrary to what I thought was going to happen, with the AoE coming from Frog and from, well, Penny, of course, I thought the shield would go down instantly. It'd be an easy kill on Ksenia. Such is not the case, though. Seems like the team combination of Blue has been working out incredibly well, and the damage output from Ksenia has been on point. Such is there, where Jet's going to take half his health and scissors.
Pretty much, and now would be a good time to activate the shield. Yes, it's up! And, yeah, Blue team really have a lot of health, whereas DW do not. That shield coming in really handy, keeping that Deadlift alive. Shouldn't have come out in the first place. Jelly being a bit aggressive on there. Same with Jazz, trying to support each other, DW, but they're just going in one by one and getting shut down for it. They really need to work on synergizing their attacks. Really need to sort of focus down certain players. Wait for the that shield from Deadlift to go down, because it's got a big cooldown. Not as big as some other skills in the game, but it's big enough to take advantage of it. And they have gone in all together. Very well done. Ubi and Nikki both going down, leaving Cannoli out, and he's not got the cooldown on his abilities right now. He needs to back out. DW have a chance to push out and get maybe a turret out of this.
Well, given that it's Deadlift pushing, I'd say that's definitely an option. Although Deadlift does lots of single target damage, he can't hit droid groups. And what he does for pushing is that he defends the droids currently at the moment, so he can really help them tank pushes if they're not being defended very well.
Absolutely, yeah. He's not got a great lane clear, but when it comes to actual turret pushing, that's where he shines.
Other than that, I'd say it's interesting to see Scoop pick up some Holy Cup pretty early. If Milk looks like Scoop's going for a more defensive build, looking to support his team after the shield goes up or down. little bit more sustained, and I think Ksenia's basically the damage dealer of the team, so keeping her alive is pretty much the optimal strategy.
Yeah, particularly as Ksenia is their squishiest Nort on the team. Like they've got, particularly with Nikki playing it as well, he's got really good Ksenia on him.
See, nice putts.
Yeah, go on, Karen.
Sorry, yeah, Blue's team's getting picked up. Noli's got low HP, Ubi's low HP, Frog's chasing, but cannot quite get them. They've got just enough movement speed to get out of there. Nikki's gonna have to be careful, even with full HP, low base HP meets, they're very vulnerable. Canoli's gonna jump in there, use the shield to protect himself, and now his team, meanwhile, tries to get the kill just barely on Nikki, as Nikki goes underneath the shield. And that's the thing about Deadlift, you have to be very coordinated with your team, otherwise you won't be able to protect them from bursts like that.
Yeah, DW doing really well, particularly with those few early losses in team kills. They're pulling this around really well. These past few team fights have been so in favor of them that they've sent blue team scampering.
Other than that, it's been kind of a nice turnaround. Blue team has the advantage for such the longest time, and now red team's trying to get their feet. Now they've been able to deal with Ksenia a little bit more, with more damage from Frog. You've got more damage from Penny. It's been a little bit more in their favor, and Deadlift's 28% damage while he has the shield up. But that's been a significant source of damage, and at the moment is very, very strong when used correctly.
Yeah. Penny really showing that she can excel as always with the team fights. Froggy showing that he's as always Froggy. Just missing out on the kill against Ubi, but they do pick up Cannoli, which is their big sort of team fight potential there, because of the shield. Now, without the shield, they can't really go on team fights, particularly seeing as there's only two of them now. But you know what I mean.
Oh, exactly. Other than that, we have Penny getting more pulse damage. We have the tower taking tons of damage. Might be a tower down for the red team if they play this correctly, but Ksenia does lots of damage.
Defend this.
He can threaten them back, but not too much. That tower's gonna go down next time somebody sneezes on it.
Same with the top turret. So all the front turrets right now, apart from that bottom one on red, actually, is actually holding up very nicely compared to the other turrets. But yeah, DW definitely on the attacking foot right now. Beta Alphas just need to keep their game back in focus. Need to avoid those Penny things. They're being split up again and being chased down by a full health team of DW. They're looking really not in great shape at the moment, Beta Alphas.
Well,
and that turret's going to go down.
Oh, for right now, definitely. If they can defend that, I'd be incredibly impressed. Other than that, I'm wondering what the Deadlifts are going to pick up next. So we have more of a sustain, protect Deadlift on both sides of the things. We have cooldown for his lunge coming out on the blue Deadlift right now. Some upgrades that I think might be useful for the teams might be slow, given the fact that there's high mobility characters at the moment. Might be useful to hold them down while the damage boost is going off. Speaking of damage boost, we have red team actually getting hit down by the Deadlift. So let's go try to get in there as much as possible. And Scoop trying to defend from behind. Not going to be able to do so much.
And with that kill on Jelly, this might be a turnaround back in favor of Beta Alphas. We will see. This turret's going to take a load of damage to it. With that shield being activated from Cannoli as well, not much this alone Deadlift can do to deal with that, as he's not got piercing damage on his AA. Got like Scolder.
Yeah, that's the best stat comparison. Might get changed in the future, we'll see. There's some people saying that he needs piercing auto attacks, and people say no, it's fine. I'm currently in the middle ground, not sure.
Yeah, looking at Deadlift at the moment, I don't think he really needs it. I think he's definitely a support character. I don't think he needs that lane clearing ability, because his abilities sort of complement him being a support so well.
Yeah, I could agree there. We have Brawl in the jungle, we have Cannoli popping the shield. Oh, definitely with the lunge. You see the red team taking a ton of damage, going to have to back off. You see that actually looking to clear that top lane as much as possible. Red team has been, well, they've been ahead, now they're coming back again. It's been a bit of back and forth between the two teams, and certain upgrades I think have led to these situations.
So even though it's such a good game so far, this is really enjoyable to watch. Really good play from both teams. We'll see how it progresses as we get on, but looks like Beta Alphas do have the upper hand right now, even though they're behind a level. So they're pumping out a little bit less damage, and they've got a little bit less solo overall. But even so, they are just doing a really great job right now.
Oh, they definitely are. In terms of builds and where they're going, we've got a tanky Scoop, we've got a tanky Bull, Ksenia doing all the damage. In terms of the red team, we've got the Deadlift actually providing a lot of the damage and a lot of the shielding, and Frog's doing damage, and Penny doing damage, so you've got basically the shield and the swords.
Absolutely. And just noticed, yeah, probably should have picked this up earlier, but an all melee team essentially, apart from Froggy going on. It's a big, heavy. That's why it's been such an exciting game to watch so far, because everyone's had to get really up and close. Lots of big fights going down, and probably having that all melee team helps with them being able to keep so close to the Deadlift shield. So really good choices on there. It probably allows them to have an all melee team, whereas otherwise there wouldn't be that utility there to allow that to happen.
Ooh, just narrow escape from the Deadlift on the red team. Just barely surviving. And I can agree with you there. I think in terms of builds and what has been built, I think Penny's done the right thing. Going for the burst on the pulse allows him to basically melt the shield. Blue team's been using that shield effectively. And not effectively enough to protect Nikki in this situation, unfortunately.
I really thought Froggy was going to go down, but Nikki instead goes down. And again, blue team are now on the run. It's returning to what it was a few minutes ago. Another back and forth. Cannoli now in big trouble. Manages to pop the shield just in time to get out of there. A few moments later, he would have been done for.
Student Tire's going to go down on top. We have the initiation from our team. That shield's going to do tons of damage, and Ubi's going to take just enough to leave him a little bit sad. He's going to get counter initiation with Bull coming in, and Nikki's going to do the damage. Caught between a frog and a penny, dashes out with her invincibility dive thanks to Virtual Girl, and manages to escape just barely.
I'm getting a very weird bug with the items bought list with Nikki Ksenia having bought like the same items several times.
I see about 4 vanishes. 1, 2, yeah, 4 vanishes. Just gets invisible enough. This is why it's the beta brawl after all, just to test things out as they go. So if you're doing beta tests, present the feedback. And watch out, Lone Star. Sorry, watch out.
That's a really great shield from Cannoli. Manages to pick up a really great team fight opportunity there. All 3 of them could go down here, but their enemy team both have pouncers to get away. That bottom turret's probably going to go down. Now only be able to defend from one side. And it is down. And it is all even Stevens in terms of turret push, apart from the Super Droid they've left to push alone. Has taken a decent chunk of that top turret on the blue side.
Thanks to turret HP bars, which are in the game right now, which is awesome. You can see it's about 1/3 down, which is fairly significant, actually. At this point in the game, I would say that it depends on the team fights where they go, and that'll determine who wins. It's not up to pushing or character select. It really depends on what they do with what they have. Other than that, we have the Deadlift on blue team. It's going to take up the invincibility. Jazz is going to take a ton of damage from the Deadlift and actually go down to the Scoop's Bindings of Justice. We have the blue team brawling the red team's jungle, looking to get some kills, and red team's going to have to back off very carefully. Except Frog is going to be able to barely get away by dashing through the blue team. The AoE damage and the scissors combined take out that Deadlift from basically behind his turret, and that blue team's pushing massively.
This could well be the game right here. This could be the game-winning push right now. Only Jelly there to try and defend. Does get a decent amount of damage, but is punished severely for it. Now there's only Jazz left. They've got several droids and the Super Droid, and all 3 of them waiting on that turret. This is the game.
This is over.
Well played to Beta Alphas, taking that game so convincingly at the end. But really good play by DW, just holding so long and really getting that back and forth action. That's a really good game. I really enjoyed watching that.
It was actually honestly close at the end. With the push, the first tower down on red team at about 5 minutes, if I recall correctly, into the match. It did turn around quite a bit, and at several points, red team was ahead, and they had the advantage. It's just, it fell apart right there at the end when they were isolated. It's incredibly important to stick to your Deadlift as much as possible. Although he may be grumpy about you reducing the effectiveness of his shield, it's important for you to stay in it.
Yeah, I think that was all essentially decided by a bit of a misplay on DW's side, that one of them going in alone, allowing them to get picked off, and then Beta Alphas were able to get that big push off. But really well played from Beta Alphas to actually shut that little poke out and able to capitalize on a mistake. So that was really great play. Yeah, just really great, excellent stuff. We're going to get the next game set up. Game 2 of Beta Alphas versus DW. We'll be right back.
pumping iron.
Yummy
The best
time.
feeling in the world.
Welcome back to the Beta Brawl. We are going to kickstart with Game 2 of Beta Alphas versus DW. First game went to Beta Alphas, 50 minutes long, and not super decisive. There's lots of back and forth. Really close game overall. I'm excited to watch this next one. What do you think, Devon?
Well, looking at the drafts right away, I can safely say that it's going to be interesting. First and foremost, I should mention that it's on Ribbit 4 because that's going to determine what I think of the characters. Second of all, I'll get into what they picked afterwards. You can see, but I'll get into that in just a second. In terms of the bans, we have Swiggins, we have Penny and Leon being banned out by Team DW, and Beta Alpha has actually banned out the Scoop, the Frog, and the X. In terms of the actual picks, sorry if I cut you off there.
No, go on, go for it.
DW has picked up Gnaw in Ribbit, of course, with the Weedlings and Ampspit. We have Rocco, Rocco, who hasn't seen a lot of use, but is still very useful, and Deadlift, which is to be expected. On the other team, though, we have let's go with the reverse order. We have Deadlift, then we have Ted and Durple on Ribbit. Yeah, just snares on the jump pad, airstrike on the jump pad. I think they're in a very, very, very good spot. I'm surprised that Durple or Ted didn't get banned instead of Leon.
Like, straight away looking at these picks, I think Beta Alphas almost has an easy game of this, just from this. Honestly, looking at the pick Norts, DW, the best they can hope for, I think, is to stall with Nor and Rocco. That Deadlift is not going to see much action at all because of the stage control that Ted and Durple are going to be able to pump out.
I can agree there. If anything goes for the red team, Team DW, I have to say, if the blue team's looking for a more defensive, protected Deadlift, then split arrows are going to be your best friend on Rocco, as they'll apply multiple instances of damage, which will definitely eat the shield up. Otherwise, I think they're just going to have to zone, like you said, get a whole bunch of CC to lock them in place.
Yeah, I think DW definitely got their work cut out, and this is Beta Alpha's game to lose right now. Let's get kickstarted. I'm red on 15 seconds. Do you want to count us down, Devmon?
Sure. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So,
is it bad that I've only just noticed the love hearts everywhere?
No. Valentine's Day is next week, and if you don't have somebody to love...
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Or Happy Singles Awareness Day, because honestly... It could be awful and brutal if you're single on Valentine's Day. It's just a reminder of being lonely. So, happy day. Spend time with your friends, because your friends are what matter. And family. Anyways, quick initiation.
Will never leave you. They know too much.
Friends will always be with you.
They know too much. You can never leave them.
In terms of early buys, Badge and Gun on Morocco, we've got off the fertilizer damage, which is to be expected. Fat Cat is fat and back on Durple, as well as Ted not picking up anything. He's got nothing besides the base abilities and the life steal, or I guess the kill over time on the gold punch, for the Deadlift.
And straight away we're seeing what we're talking about with the character picks coming true. Beta Alpha's just going straight in, asserting their dominance over this stage. Nor trying to get set up, Jelly's Nor trying to get set up in that top little jungle area, but I don't think it's going to make too much difference. I don't know how has Nor been in recent patches? Has he been is he strong or weak at the moment?
In recent patches, this recent patch, he's been an absolute terror. He's been one of the stronger knots, actually, in a lot of people's opinions.
So they do have a chance, then.
I would say so. However, they're going to have to play very carefully, especially since airstriking really clear weeds effectively.
Nuke just getting caught on the lip of that little platform there. Unfortunately, not being able to reach.
Oh, Canoli!
W's.
Canoli just barely getting out there. Being forced out. The slow from Vengeance is actually doing a lot of work to keep him away at bay and helping his team secure kills. It may be the case that Vengeance might be the game changer for a lot of this, and the fact that Amp and Weeds might do a lot, I think we'll see that as well.
DW doing a really great job this at the start of this game, but they including farming the solar boss as Beta Alphas are doing right now. They're doing a much better job than I thought they would be doing at this stage in the game. Brawl, Nor is definitely doing a lot better for them as a pick than I thought originally.
In terms of what's going on now, Canoli's being slowed down, lots of DOT damage, but the shield's going to keep him quite alive and quite healthy. Nicky's going to go back to base, and Canoli's probably going to go back to base in just a second. One thing I'd like to mention about the shield, if nobody's aware, there's sort of a Zarya barrier effect where if there's any damage spillover after the shield, so say the shield has 1 HP and you have a burst coming at you that has 1000 damage, it'll take the 1 damage on the shield and the other damage will be ignored, so there's no damage spill off. So if the nuke comes in, you can block it for your entire team without having to worry about it basically eating through any damage. Speaking of damage, Airstrike. Airstrike does a lot of damage, hits on the jump pad, and massacres bulls apparently.
He jumped right into... I don't know what he was thinking with that charge, but he jumped right into one of the snares, and Nikki was just stood right next to him, and he's not letting you get away with that. There's no way he's letting you get away with that. You're dead.
Well, this high level of play, punishment's easy to do, and given the aggressiveness of certain players, they will punish you.
Game. High level punish game. He jumped into it.
I swear it's sexual shit. Make it sound.
Oh my god. Don't go in! No! He's done it again! Don't stop! I don't know what was there this time, but please.
Oh, Doodle's gonna get picked off by Jazz's arrows. I think Rocco's actually doing quite a bit for the game, given damage values. Actually, now he's got the most damage in the game. Never mind.
And a little bit of a brawl going on over to the sides. Cannoli manages to pop a shield, but DW's Deadlift then also having shield on cooldown. Nothing coming out of it, both playing it relatively safe. Nikki not really worrying about the Deadlift until his shields run out. Now he has. Maybe something's going to come out of it. Cannoli's cooldowns are down. So DW's Deadlift just gets straight out anyway. Managed to slip through all those traps. Ubi is going to pop a nuke and then just saunter on out. Pushing in favor of Beta Alphas right now.
I would say so, and that top turn on the red team is not looking so good. Speaking of not looking so good, Ubi's in the bush right now, taking a bit of damage, but doing effective clear, effective defense, and it seems like blue team's going to take advantage of the jump pad once again. If not, of course, doesn't get set from the top. Solar Boss is being attacked on the blue side, and it's going to go down relatively quickly. Gave up the damage that the Solar Boss can do, that's piercing, hits multiple targets. 1 round is still enough to keep the team safe as they farm the Solar Boss effectively, so Deadlift strategy might be able to farm the Solar Boss
straight into the turret.
That damage just barely goes down to a punch from Cannoli, actually. I mean, it doesn't hit multiple
Jelly maybe going down as well. He gets stoked by an airstrike, not quite getting him. But they've got a big pushing opportunity. Cannoli able to tank a load of damage off this turret. Has to stand in the spit for it, and he's in trouble. He needs to reach that Wheedling in time, and the top turret does go down. Nikki facing off against Jazz manages to push him back, and they've got a big push on bottom as well, with DW being forced way back to base to heal. This bomb turret could go down with it as well. Jelly coming in now. Good coverage from Beta Alphas with preemptive nuke and airstrikes right there, and covering their backs with some snares. Cannoli getting picked off on the runaway though. Really good play from Beta Alphas. That bottom turret also nearly down on the red side. Really looking very one-sided towards them right now in terms of pushing.
I have to say they've done a fantastic job of just clearing droids and making sure they've got the center control. Airstrike does a lot against Nah. Even if Nah wants to play defensively inside the jump pad, it's basically Airstrike hits everything, and the leads don't have that much HP, so Ted's been doing a good job there.
That's definitely an understatement. Airstrike does a lot against everything.
In terms of, I'd like to say money, Nikki's actually got 470 solar and just spends it right now, never mind, on some auto attack damage from regen. I was about to say, just had Tetris fill that whole time.
Ooh, Jelly playing a very dangerous game against the Solar Boss, nearly dying to it.
See here that, we've got a Brawl going down the jungle. Jelly's going to go in there, try to get some Wheedling place down. Gets hit by the snare.
Good
and then
snare trap!
Punch to the butt by Cannoli. Cannoli's going to get out there using the leap. And the Brawl's going to go back to Ted, who's looking to grab some health cubes on the red side of the map. And the arrows are going to finish off Cannoli.
Really good play from both teams. DW's Deadlift has a shield up. Nikki's in trouble. Does get picked up. And this is bad for Beta Alphas right now. Thankfully, Ubi is still alive and on full health and is such a dangerous character on this map, regardless of where you are, really. So they do need to watch out. Doesn't do a super great job of defending that bottom turret, but does manage to force them off by getting rid of the shield with the nuke. But keeps the turrets alive.
Other than that, Cannoli defending the top. Those weeds are still doing significant amounts of damage, even as placement weeds, ones that do say damage per second rather than just the straight up placement damage. That's one thing to consider about the weeds and why they contribute so much damage. Bottom tower looks like it's a primary target at the moment. It's going to take a bit of getting
showing off he can still push like a demon.
And that, I'd like to say, Nas Amp Spit may come into play here. It's going to probably do some effective spit. It's going to take the amp, and his shields go down quite quickly, and his HP is ticking away. He's going to have to back off unless he wants to take some more punishment. Meanwhile, Nicky's going to use the Stimpack to go in. Airstrike goes in, does some damage, and he's going to have to back out as he's being chased. Cannoli goes back in, manages to secure a punch as like a tank assassin, and go away. He has leap off cooldown.
Great snare trap as well. Ubi getting a really good placement, managing to trap DW's Deadlift in, and getting a decisive explode on him. And this turret may well go down. We may see a repeat of last game, where they had a big push, all three of them alive, with a few of the other team dead, and a super droid. This could be the game-winning push right now. Again, only 10 minutes in this time.
The AoE arrow just misses Cannoli, and Cannoli's going to be able to get out there and survive. Yeah, blue team's in a fantastic position at the moment. They've been doing incredibly well. The combination of defense from Cannoli combined with the offense of Nicky and the just team support of Ubi has just been fantastic. Speaking fantastic, wow, double kill basically, and return kill for Cannoli go down. But Rocco's left in a position where he has to defend by himself without the SWCA points.
I do have to say, like, big props for DW's Deadlift for going so aggro this game, but probably not the wisest decision to have made against a Derpal Ted team. But big props to him for getting involved and not being afraid of the other team. Like, sometimes a lot of the time you see when you're falling behind, players just sort of being a lot more passive, but they're making an effort of it. Oh, they've got an opportunity on Nicky right now. Nicky doing some nice juking, really good play with the stim pack, managing to get out of there.
Oh, Shelly's just
going down
by a spear trap, taken out by Nuke. Meanwhile, you got Nicky picking off the, basically Deadlift. It was an auto attack. Rocco again left alone to defend. This is a bad situation, especially since the Nuke and slip bullets. Oh, that was a good Nuke technique on top of the slip bullets. And that looks like a
core Ruby securing the game.
That core is going to go down. I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind.
GG. GG, guys. Well played, and that is a 2-0 victory for Beta Alphas, who go into the grand finals of the Beta Brawl with Deadlift. Okay, we are going to have a small break, but first, do you want to have a talk about how that game went down? I think it went pretty much exactly as we said at the start.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to say, but I think Ted and Derpal, really good combination of Ribbit, and it's just the narrow choke point that they had. They took advantage of it, and even if not trying to set weeds, the weeds didn't stay up long with the airstrike going off. Otherwise, I think that Rocco might have wanted to pick up a SWCA coin a little bit sooner. It's not a lot of extra damage against the team, but given the fact that Cannoli's protecting his team with the shield, would have eaten the shield up a little bit more. It was nice to get the Sticky Cops mustache and go for the auto attack damage, but I think they just need something to stall a little bit harder. And otherwise, I think Nas build is pretty standard there, just missing the rotten teeth. Otherwise, you've got the trifecta plus 4. Deadlift builds? Deadlift builds, I think, are obviously
go for it.
Sorry, I was going to say, yeah, tell me a little bit more about the deadlift builds going on for both teams at the moment.
Well, it looks like across the board we're seeing Sweat Wow Band, the heal over time, getting you 80 heal every 2 seconds, is looking to be quite significant, as the team seem to be favouring it over a lot of the other upgrades early on. Rushing into it as soon as possible, sometimes getting the piggy bank for it. We're seeing that across the board, actually. Holotech Kickboxing Gloves says increased damage, and damage as soon as the regen's bought to counteract the Nora on Beta Alpha side. So it looks like getting that regen and then going into damage seems to be working out for Deadlifts at the moment. But we'll see if that meta will change over the coming matches.
I guess with that, we'll be going to our next set, since we have a 2-0.
Yep. We will join you and be right back in a few minutes. So stay tuned, everyone. Take care.